All right. Well, hi guys. It's nice
Hey,
to see you
Tammy.
again. I absolutely
Hey.
love the finale. So first, I need to ask, and you probably don't yet, but is there any news on season two?
No
Do you?
news.
Not yet.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
yet. But if
All
your
right.
headline is "We deserve a season two," I'll take it.
Yeah, that's definitely
So
my
that's
head.
what we're hoping for. Yeah.
All right. So obviously you guys had to change the ending a lot because if everybody reunited with, their souls, there'd be no story left. So
Mhm.
talk about sort of how you, I guess, pivoted the ending in order to add more story. Whoever wants to answer.
Yeah. So look, we knew through the adaptation process that we wanted to complete the murder mystery, right? So the comic is 47 issues of who killed M, and we didn't want to spread that out over multiple seasons. We wanted to tell that story in season one. So that was sort of our first thing to tackle. And obviously, if you say who killed them, you kind of have to say what caused Revival Day because the answer is effectively the same. So we started to work towards basically adding more layers to the Revival Day mystery. And so there's a lot there. We say kind of the position of what is Revival Day through the lens of Lester and through that whole situation. But there's more there, and that leaves us open to tell more stories
Yeah,
in that world.
Lester could very well be an unreliable narrator. Like, what does he actually know or understand about this? We're taking some of his stuff at face value, but we don't know why does he have the mask? Why does he have this thing on his chest? Like, there's a lot of things like occultish things that he was doing and playing with. There's this amalgamation of different cultures and beliefs and things that are all coming together. It's something that isn't necessarily making sense yet, maybe.
Mhm.
But there's more, there's a reason for that. And there's things that he's trying and throwing things at the wall and seeing what's sticking, if you will. And that we'll get to explore. And yeah, we wanted to say that there were two central questions, which is what caused Revival Day and who murdered M. And even though what caused Revival Day, her murder is a piece of what caused Revival Day, her murder is not what caused Revival Day, if you will. So that story, that answer still continues to exist, and that's something that we can explore and peel back layers on, and
Okay,
yeah,
that
but it's
was
part of what caused it, if that makes sense.
yeah. No, that's what I was gonna ask. So, like, I mean, obviously, there's still some things you're gonna put in from the comics. I assume, like, why they wanted the revival body parts, those kind of things that weren't
Yeah.
necessarily fleshed out as much. But I mean, I guess is the main story of season two like gonna be sort of something completely new, or is it more gonna revolve, like you said, just kind of more about I don't know the why. Maybe there's, I guess, more than I know. So.
Yeah, that's the hope. I mean, the hope is that we could do something, fairly original in the world of Revival while also still telling, like what we did with season one, which is we can take portions of the comic characters, storylines, and tell them, in further seasons, tell them our way, right? So there are elements that we have plans for that will come into play in further seasons. But we also plan to do something that is, it's the revival comic sequel that you never got. Essentially, that was our intent, is to kind of start to tell more stories in this world that haven't been told yet.
Yeah, it's a mix. It's a mix. There's so many stories, side quests and things that happen in the comics that we
Hmm.
don't get to touch on that we want to bring in, but infuse that with each season there will be another big mystery to solve,
Hmm.
right? And there is going to be a new mystery that's going to be a lot of fun that we're excited about and has been set up and teased but is not fully realized yet, that well at least to the audience won't be yet until you get into season two. So it's really fun to kind of like lay the groundwork for that. And yeah, while also and then that mystery will weave within stories that exist in the comic already. So it's going to be new, but also part of the comic at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you guys are creating the new story, but are the writers of the comic involved at all in the sense, like, are you, as you go saying, does this work for you? Are you okay with this or not? And if are they, how are they reacting, I guess, to all of it?
No, there's a revival family, right? Mike and Tim are involved. We talk to them all the time. We have had conversations with Tim, both about what we want to do, about what they've thought about doing. I mean, they've thought about there were times what they thought about putting out more revival, so we know what they were going to do, and yeah, there's always a dialogue happening for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're gonna, as we're continuing, in fact, we talked about we're gonna Luke and myself and possibly them getting together and having some mini writers' rooms, if you will, going into season two, if we're lucky to have one.
Yeah.
Fair. Now, M. It seems like reunited with her soul, which confuses me a lot, and I won't go there. But I wanted to ask, was there a reason why hers is purple now, or is that just sort of an aesthetics thing? Is that something we have to wait to find out? Is there anything you could tell me about that?
Yeah, this is part of playing with what is in the comic and the expectations of a comic reader and to go a little bit of a different direction. Um, what I will posit is a question of did she reunite with her soul at the end? Like that, I will say, did that happen? Because there might have been a death that happened at the end that is not the death that we thought was happening, I will say. So there could be something there. Uh, and yeah, and then why is hers purple? What's there? It's we always talked about how she's the gremlins, she's the stripe of the gremlins. But there's definitely something more to what's going on and what that means. But yeah, it's all meant to say, wait, what's different here?
Yeah.
Because something is different about him,
Yeah,
and something is
we've
different
said
about
that
M's
throughout the
massacre.
season, right? Like M can heal, other revivers can't heal. M has a little bit, her strength is a little bit more. They've had to use more serum for her. There's all these hints along the way that M is not quite the same as all the other revivers. And this is sort of the big, moment where you really, really see that even her passenger is different. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can answer this. You're probably not going to be able to, but I know obviously in the comic book there is more life, and they do mention she as Rose is capable of giving life. Is
Mhm.
that a storyline you're not going to, or could that still be connected to all this? Or can you not really say anything at all?
You mean M? That M?
Yes, about M. Yeah.
I think she's asked about the pregnancy.
Yes, I was
Yeah,
trying to say it without saying it.
yeah,
Yes.
That's fine. No, it's okay.
trying to, yeah, make
Yeah.
sure. Um, Yeah, no, look, there are elements that we plan to explore. We're the whole book is open to us, right? So we're like you saw in season one, we were able to take elements and sort of make them our own. We still use them, if you really cut it down to the core, our storylines are effectively the same. How we get there might be different, how they're framed might be different, but we are still, I believe, adapting the comic faithfully. So we intend to continue to do that in our own way, in our own creative, original way. So
All right.
Yeah.
Now, she did not tell Dana that she's alive. I mean, she kind of assumes that she's not. At least it seems like it, or I assume she wouldn't be going on this investigation now. Can you talk about sort of why, I guess, that she's not sharing that and why she's kind of staying away? Is there anything you can say about that?
I mean, this is definitely something that will be a part of season two. What I can say is that when you look at the manifestations of Patty, of her mother, in both episodes 9 and 10, 9 is representing her guilt, 10 is representing healing, right? And Patty, in both aspects, are as a part of her that she's wrestling with a lot of bad thoughts and things,
Mhm.
and she's trying to move on. So when you think about all the things that have happened in Wausau, all the things everybody's gone through, seeing her, Cooper with a knife to his throat, and the Czech brothers, and people have died, and horrible things have happened, and she's learning that maybe she is integral to what's there, and someone who already has guilt in her life and has lived this way, maybe that guilt might be a part of what's I need to separate myself from. I'm causing harm, I think could be a reasonable thought for her to have. And I think especially young people, they will sometimes run. Just like Dana, wanted to run at one point. She wanted to leave town, and I think that there's some guilt and some like what have I done or not done, without getting too much into this further, but like yeah, I think there's a lot on her shoulders and she feels the weight of that in that moment.
Fair enough. And is
Yeah.
there anything else that you guys have taken out that we don't know about that I guess we would have seen, like I know Luke, you had mentioned about the deer and everything that we
mm,
didn't get to see the actual deer. Is there anything other stories like that of things that you guys had that we didn't get to see that yeah, kind of like cutting room floor stuff that you
oof.
can think of?
Yeah, where do we start? Goodness
Yeah, there's a
gracious.
lot. There's a lot. And there's a lot of things that even though part of that story might be told in season one, we still want to go back and peel layers with in season two because there is a lot of setup for things that we want to have happen. So again, just like in you watch the beginning of the pilot and you see Maytow and it's like, okay, she's just here for no reason, looking at a body and a John Doe. But no, then when you get to episode 8, you realize it's an entirely different thing. There's more of that in season 1 that we have set up that you might not realize has something to pay off in a future season. And then there are things that were on the cutting room floor that we now, there's a couple that I'm actually kind of glad we're on the cutting floor because now I have some
Okay.
ideas on how to like rework them and do them maybe a little different since we didn't show it and we've got ways to do that. But Luke and I need to, we got to get a season 2 and Luke and I need to like
Okay.
hash some of that out. But I think there's fun opportunities. But yes, there's we're not done with season 1, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
There's things there that are going to be unearthed that will then continue to evolve what's happening in season 2 and beyond, including stuff that was on the cutting room floor.
That's fair. And you probably can't answer this either, but are we going to ever see Brant? Because I know we've been talking about that a lot on our show. You mentioned a twin. We expect to see a twin at some point.
Well, so okay, what we'll say is it was fun for Luke and I, again, knowing the expectations of the audience. If you mention there's a twin of a guy who's not good, everyone is going to assume that this is the killer. And that was deliberate, right? We knew that was going to be the case. So we wanted people to be like, I got it, I figured it out. And a lot of people thought that. So that was just a misdirect. That was a misdirect. But we also are obsessed with Mark Little as an actor. And Luke and I love him. And we think there could be some fun to bringing Mark Little back. So there was also that selfish idea too, but I think part of it was the misdirect, and just like have this one little throwaway line, let the people who are trying to, dissect this figure it out and just send them to a dead end, which I
Yeah.
thought was fun, but also leave the door open to allow wonderful Mark Little the possibility to come back in season 2.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. But you're driving us nuts. That's for sure. So, what has been your reaction? I just kind of wanted you to both to talk about sort of your reaction to the fans' reaction and to everybody, loving this show and everything. I mean, obviously you went to Comic-Con and it all went really well and everything. So yeah, talk a minute about that.
I mean, I don't, words fail me in that. It's humbling. It's amazing. I mean, the kind of, it's been so warm, right? Like people just embraced it so much. And that's what you dream about. I mean, you write this stuff and you think about, Aaron and I are thinking about the audience at all times. And we're really thinking about these fans who are looking at everything. And so seeing that, culminate and happen the way that you would hoped it would happen is that's as artists, that's the dream. It's all the dream. And so yeah, I mean, I am humbled and grateful for the way people have completely embraced this show.
Yeah, it's surreal. It's such a surreal thing. And all you hope is that it's going to connect with someone,
Mhm.
and it's like, this is working for us. Like, oh, I really love this. I hope, anyone cares a tenth as much as we care right now about this and finding people that do and then some. And then finding their own interpretations of what's there is really fun. Like I love seeing the people that kind of dissect things and this is what this means to me. And I'm like, that's really special. And all you ever want to do is, movies and TV were an escape for me my whole life.
Mhm.
And whenever things were bad, that's the place that I go. It's still the place that I go. I need to watch a movie as like a palate cleanser or as a show as a palate cleanser to like help me kind of recontextualize whatever shitty thing is happening in the world or my life. And we know that this has been that for a lot of people, and that's unbelievable. Like, I cannot put it into words. It is unbelievable. And yeah, so, but now we know that there's expectations that come with that. And now we have people who are invested and we want to come through for them. So I have not been nervous about this show until the finale. This is the
Mhm.
first time I was nervous was the finale, just because I care so much about the audience experience. We care so much about the audience experience, as Luke was saying. And it's like I hope that you feel that care that's there because we didn't spoon feed you everything the whole time. We believed that if you're willing to invest the time that we're going to reward you for it. And then 10 was like, okay, we're trying something here and it's gonna take a swing and just hoping that they're along for the ride. And I guess we'll find out. But
Yeah.
just very grateful to have all of them. It's surreal and crazy. And we want to just keep growing, keep growing, keep growing that audience. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. And I don't think you have anything to worry about. I mean, I know I loved it. And now I'm gonna go read the comic and find out more. Now that it's done, I can go and not be spoiled anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
There's some good stuff in there. Some really
yeah.
good stuff in there.
All right. Well, thank you both of you. And thank you, Luke, too, for, joining our chat so many times. We
Yeah, no, I
always
love it.
appreciate it.
Oh
It's
man, you
been a lot
guys
of
have
fun. It's been a great
the best
season. So,
conversations. Yes.
yes.
Late at night at 1 o'clock in the morning when
Yeah, when we're still up, still
yeah.
talking about it. All right. Good night.
Thanks, James.
Now I'm saying good night. See, now you got my mind. It's nighttime.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day, both.
Have a good one.
Bye
Thanks.
bye. Thanks a lot.